Nipponichi Software presents.
Hello everybody, tonight we're going to be going through Disgaea 6, the English version. I'm going to do a quick playthrough that's intended to get to the post-game as soon as possible. And the hope is you can follow along this playthrough and maybe you too can reach the post-game in under a day. I'm not going to be doing anything too special, just some basic commands. A lot of this run, as a disclaimer, is going to be auto battle, so there's not going to be a lot of manual control on my end, but there are going to be some instances where I will have to stop and intervene myself, and I'll point out those instances. So first off, I just got to make sure I have my settings correct. So performance mode, ally effects, enemy effects, skip all these. Then speed up effects on, combat loop speed super, base speed super, cursor speed super, text speed super, auto scroll speed super, auto scroll on, auto save off, faction colors on, battle menu effects skip, auto battle put that to on, auto repeat will be off for the time being. Auto battle group, we'll get to that when we get to it. Auto adjust cursor, page start notifications, I'll put that off. Boost tickets, no. Memorize cursor position, on. And then I think that should be it. Alright, settings are good. Now we'll start this and see how well we go. I'll try to slow down a bit if I need to explain some things, but I'm looking for this playthrough to be under 3 hours, so maybe if you follow what I'm doing, you too can reach the post game in 3 to 4 hours. So let's get started and have some fun, shall we? Alright, so press X to skip the cutscenes, and then we get to our tutorial battle. And then we just say, of course, remember to skip all this. You hold B to skip the text. And then we have Zed, who's really overpowered at this point compared to the enemies, so we just have him do all the dirty work, or auto battle do all the dirty work. Don't even have to lift a finger. Alright, it's done. Now we get the meat of the game. Skip all these scenes. Okay, I'll talk to some of these NPCs to allow me to use their functions. So I'll talk to the general shop so I can use it later. I'll talk to the dimension guides so I can aptly go to the stages. Then we'll skip the cutscene and have the auto battle do its thing. You can watch all the cutscenes later through the data shop, so skipping them isn't really a big deal, as you can rewatch them later. Okay, so we'll skip through all this text, then we'll say less talking, more hitting. And now we'll go through the first stage. Tutorial stages are always pretty easy, so we'll just let all battle do its thing. Okay, skip cutscene. And then now we have access to the ring of command. So you press ZL to access this part of the shortcut menu, and then you press ZR to access this part of the command menu. So press ZR to access the dimension guide quickly, and off we go to our next stage, which is another tutorial stage. We are also going to auto battle this. So the way the game is designed, supposedly the developers do want people to experience the post-game. So getting through the story is just a formality, and they want the post-game is where the game supposedly opens up. But yeah, these enemies aren't really that big threat with the units that we have at our disposal. Alright, so we have the Dark Assembly unlocked now. First, I'll talk to this NPC, which is the cheat shop, to allow me to adjust these values for some of these resources. We'll just have them go to mostly EXP.
See you again.
And then we'll talk to this NPC, the Dark Assembly, where we create our characters. So we'll just have, we got 2 characters, or 4 characters right now. We're gonna need to make 5 characters. Well, 4, because 1 joins us. Okay, so we have only a warrior, brawler, clergy, and witch. So I'm gonna make a brawler. And just pick good for nothing, and then it'll ask you to subtract 5 stats from the base stats here, so you can just do it to int. Then we have our brawler, then we'll make another character. So at a viewer request, I'll have to nickname them. So manually enter name. We will make this one Anya, and we'll make her a blue mage. For the mage, you just want to lower attack. We can't do the red mage. We can't change the colors, unfortunately. Not until she ranks up anyway, so we'll have to keep her as a red mage for now. Alright, so we got that one, and then I'll create 2 other names. 2 other characters I need to name. So Anya was one of them, then I think it was just 3 names, right? Hunter Dude, the Prinny, Anya the Mage, and then Penguin Power, the Prinny. Alright. So I'll just create 4 mages and roll with them. Whoops, I don't want a warrior, I want a mage. Okay, so we have 4 mages now. Okay, and then I'm probably gonna need to make a couple Prinnies at some point, but I don't have access to a Prinny at the moment. Okay, so I will create 1 more brawler. Then subtract into that. And then I'll go to characters and then move 1 over here. There's these dispatch groups that you can assign for auto battling. So I'm gonna go to the first group, select Y to pull up this menu, and then we'll throw in these characters. This will do for now, because we will get a Prinny to join us. And then I will select, well, I'm in this this batch group, I'll just put plus to, I press the plus button to make sure that this is the auto group, the auto battle group. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'll go to the next stage. So this game heavily favors having a full party, unlike other Disgaea games. So that's why we want to make as many characters as we can. Okay, another tutorial, we'll just say I'll just do whatever, no biggie. And we'll just auto battle the whole thing, nothing too complicated here. Then we should have a Prinny join us. And then I've been requested to make 2 Prinnies. So I will have to make another 2 Prinnies and name them. Alright, so got that. Now I will go and talk to the skill shop that's now available so I can access it later. Probably should have done it after I made my characters, but whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna rename this character for a viewer request. Let's see. First one. Hunt dude. Alright, that's that. And then I will create my second Prinny that shall be named as well. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, I hope this name fits. Okay, good. So, yeah, I gotta redo that name. Oh well. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, there we go. Now we will confirm. Press plus to confirm, then int is probably the one you want to lower with the Prinny. Okay, now our party is almost ready. Just need to put them in the auto group. Put these 2 Prinnies in the auto group and we're good to go. First, I probably want to buy some weapons for them, so let's go to the general store. Then we actually don't have very much money at our disposal, as you can see. So we'll just hold off on that for now. What I do want to do though is I want to bump up the enemy strength a little bit. So 7 stars seems like it would be okay. So let's do that. Okay, so here's our recurring boss, God of Destruction. You'll learn to love him, you'll learn to hate him. You'll be seeing him very often. I believe even if your party gets wiped out, you should still be able to advance. But with a full party, he doesn't really pose much of a threat, even with the increased levels. So now our party is level 200. And that puts us in a good position for the next episode. Alright, so now that we've basically doubled our level. We're gonna put the enemy strength down just a little bit.
Come again.
Then we'll go on to the next stage. Oh, let me check the enemies here. So they're 62. And we're triple their level. Comparatively speaking, their strength isn't that much higher than the enemies that we're fighting. So at one point we'll probably be fighting level 1000 enemies pretty soon, and we should still be able to handle the enemies with ease. Alright, so as you can see, we're not getting that much levels from them, because we already way too strong compared to them. Yeah, since our party is fairly strong compared to the enemies, they should not have much issues handling the enemies that you see here. You might see a few die, mostly because they get ganged up on, but for the most part, the auto battle should be able to handle most of it. Okay, see, not a lot of levels gained here. Okay, so here we're gonna reach one of the enemies that's the stages that's pretty good for grinding. So let's adjust the cheat shop a little bit. Probably bring it up to 12. That
See
looks
you
like
again.
it's fine. So they should still be able to handle this guy, because there are just so many of them, and there's only one of them. Alright, so they did handle them just fine. Now we've gained 40 levels. And the game actually notes that this guy is good for experience, so we're gonna do him a few times. So on the revisit of this stage, he's gonna revive 3 times. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the enemy strength a little bit. Probably level 8 is okay.
Please come again.
Okay, at this point we should have enough money to buy equipment for most of our characters. So we're gonna buy 30 slippers, and then we'll look into buying equipment for each of our characters here. We'll just buy 4 staffs, then this, and then 1 bow, and then I guess 2 swords. Yeah, that should be all our money.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll go equip everybody. So Zed gets a fist, and we'll just shove slippers on everybody. It's the easiest way for this. So fists and then shoes. Shell staffs for the mage, the witch. Yeah, a red mage. And then magic hand for our brawler. And we won't be using our warrior too much, so we'll leave him as is. We'll probably dump him once we get the next character to join. I'm not gonna grind that much just yet, just a couple times. Okay, so we can also grab a few abilities for our characters. Abilities are passive abilities you can buy for your characters. So go to the skill shop. Here, we'll grab Power Knuckles. That's the only thing I can actually grab for Z. Use. And then we'll wait on the other characters because they don't really have much abilities that will be useful for us at the moment. Yeah, just put these two abilities on Z for now. We'll grind one of the stages in a bit. So I'll put this down to 7 stars and we'll go to the Rich Man's Plaza again. So as I mentioned before, this guy's gonna revive 3 times this time. I think I'm going to go to status and disable this triple strike skill. So you go to status and then you go to the specials list and then you just press A to disable the skill. I don't want them to use triple strike because it's got the knockback effect, which will interrupt how the characters will attack the enemy. Alright, so as you can see, our levels rose by, I think, 50 or so. Just gonna keep doing this for a bit. I'll just raise the enemy strength to 10, then we'll do that stage again. I don't want to overdo it just because we'll get a new character pretty soon. And I'll put her in the party in place of my warrior. So we'll just do this a couple times and then proceed. So while you're all battling, you can also press the minus key on your Switch controller to enable auto repeat. Auto repeat it just means while you're all battling, it'll repeat the stage that you're currently doing. So I just did it once, and you see you don't have to go to the menu at all to select the stage again. So I'll turn off auto repeat since I'm gonna proceed with the story after this. Alright, so now level 400, that should be okay to proceed. Then we'll go to the cheat shop and lower the enemy strength back to 0.
See you again.
Then we'll move on to the next map. You can optionally, well, alternatively, you could choose to do this run a little later. I'm just doing it right now just to show you what to expect as far as grinding goes. Just like that, we got through this stage pretty easily, and then we're gonna go to cheat shop and raise the enemy strength by 5.
Please come again.
Then we'll go here. And then, surprise, it's our friend, the God of Destruction.
Looks like it's
So we'll lay the smackdown on him. And then you can see how many levels our characters will get after this stage is cleared. Okay, they got about 100 levels. 80, 100 levels, I think. Alright, so now that's done, we're off to episode 3. Then I'm gonna lower the enemy difficulty in the cheat shop again. So our cheat shop minimum, maximum has been increased, so we'll lower all of this to, well, I think we want to put more towards mana this time, since we won't be grinding at the moment. Mana is one of the... So EXP and mana are your most useful resources for a story run. So when you're not grinding, you want to have it as high as possible, the mana, rather than EXP. So we'll just do this stage, and then we should get our new character to join us, and then that should be our final party. Alright, let's see if this character joined us. Okay, not... Oh yeah, she did. There's Melodia. So now she's joined us, we're gonna put her in our auto battle party. So we're gonna take out our warrior and then put Melodia in. Then we'll give her some equipment. She can keep the bow she has on. Actually, I gotta see if it's more powerful than the bow that I bought is more powerful than the one she's got. Yeah, it is, so we'll just leave it at that. Alright, so now we can actually start grinding a little bit. So let's bump this up to 15 strength and then bump EXP up all the way.
Please come again.
Then after that, we're gonna go to the human world and do Rich Man's Plaza again.
Get in my way.
So just gonna check what level is the enemy at this point. He's level 830, and we're still able to handle him despite being 300 levels lower. Just mostly because there's only one of them. Okay, so I'll bump up the difficulty to 20
Let me know when you're ready.
stars, the max difficulty. See how they do.
See you again.
And then we'll have this on auto battle and then auto repeat for a bit. It looks like they're still able to handle like the level difference. So after a few clears, our levels should catch up to him. I think I'm gonna do this until we hit around 1500 when the level gains stop being like 50 to 100 plus, more or less. Okay, so just like that, we're almost caught up with his level. I know he's over level 1000. Let me just check what level he's at. He's level. Oh, he's just 1040. Okay, it's not as high as I thought. Alright, we will definitely do this until all our characters hit 1000 plus. And after that, I'll have to see how the level gains. Or before I move on to something else. We're mostly doing this so that enemies don't take as long to kill than if we haven't actually level grinded at all. Okay, looks like we're starting to get around 50-ish levels per clear. I think I'll just stop when we get to 100. Or not 100, 1,000 characters. Probably a good stopping point. Yes, the level gains are starting to slow down now. So one thing I'm gonna do when I am done with this grind is I'll check my character's demerits, which are like individual accomplishments the character gets, and getting those demerits will give us various rewards. One of the rewards that I want is an innate experience boost for the character. So we'll see what demerits are available once this run is over. So if you're wondering if this trivializes the story, I mean, the story is supposed to be pretty trivial. It's just that doing this grind is gonna make it pretty effortless to go through the story. I mean, that's basically the whole point of me doing this to begin with. To help you all effortlessly go through the story. Alright, so looks like our characters are going to go to level 1000 at the end of this clear. So I think it's a good stopping point. Then I'm gonna go check characters' demerits and see what they get. Alright, most of our characters got to level 1000. It's alright, they'll get a lot higher once we get to the boss stages. Okay, so here's our demerits screen status. So I'll accept all rewards. So we got EXP plus 5% so far. Eventually we should be able to get EXP plus 30%. With the demerit rewards. Okay, so that's our last character. And we will tone down the enemy strength.
Please come again.
Now, it's time to move on. Alright, from here on out, most of the enemies shouldn't pose too much of a threat. And shouldn't take too long to kill either. Now, one of the stages coming up, we will have to actually hold off on auto battling for a bit. Because there are these stage effects called geo effects. And one of the effects is called ally damage 50%. Which means our allies will take 50% damage each turn on they're on a tile with the ally damage 50% effect. So if we have our characters auto battle on such terrain, they are not gonna survive very long. So yeah, coming up will be that stage. Well, after the stage, we're gonna see that stage I'm referring to. This stage should be fine to auto battle because the effects are not that dangerous. There's even a recovery effect for one of them, as you can see. Okay, so here's the stage where we have to actually use our characters. So, one note about Prinnies is that they do explode when thrown. And since I have 2 Prinnies in my party, I'm gonna have to abandon one of the Prinnies and have have one of the Prinnies be lifting our characters. So to lift your characters, all you have to do is have your character move on top of one of your characters. I'll bring out one of my reserve characters. Okay, so one cool thing about this game that's new is that you can move while you're lifting, so we'll do that. Then you can, at this point, have your Prinny throw your characters to the geo symbol that's over here and destroy them. So there's also a shortcut to throw. If you hold ZL and Y. Actually, no. Yeah, you have to press ZL and Y pretty quickly. And then it'll give you the option to throw. So I'll do that and then have them throw characters to the geo symbol. So if you throw your character on top of a geo symbol, it'll actually outright destroy the geo symbol. So let's do that. And just like that, the ally damage is gone. So now we can get rid of our throw stack and have auto battle do the rest.
My turn.
So most of our characters are on the opposite side. So depending on how this turns out, we may need to have our characters manually move, but it doesn't look like that's needed.
Send him flying.
Yeah, the character's auto battle, the default AI just goes for the nearest enemies that they can. So we're gonna see a few turns before they get to the base panel. If the Prinny doesn't get rid of the 2 magic knights. Alright, that's it. Okay, so got a good amount of EXP from that. And then coming up is the end of the episode, so we're gonna bump up the enemy strength in the cheat shop again. I think 5 would do here.
You again.
And then here we go, another fight with our friend, the God of Destruction. What level is he when we go to 5-star? Okay, 710. Probably should have bumped him up a little higher. I wasn't 100% sure what level he would be at. I don't want to make him too strong because his HP would get too high. Okay, so at this point, I think we'll probably focus more on mana at this point. From here on out. Until we get to the next grinding spot, of course.
I get it. See ya.
Let's go to cheat shop and lower everything, put it to mana, lower enemy strength to
Please,
0.
come
Alright, so should be able to auto battle most of the stages here. I think for this one I will need to have a character get tossed over here to deal with the enemy that's hanging out on that cliff over there. But otherwise auto battle can take care of the rest.
Your heart belongs to me.
Now.
Dude, your heart belongs to me.
So this stage is where we start seeing enemy reinforcements. But they're not really a huge threat. Our party is over-leveled. Alright, next stage. I think this is a stage that we should be able to let the AI handle it. It's just rather spread out, and there are enemy base panels here which spawn enemies every turn. Eventually they'll run out of enemies to spawn. Yeah, you still get reinforcements if the map is already cleared off. They will come no matter what, so they're not really something you can skip at all. Even if you were, say, doing a New Game Plus run, where you have access to huge AoE attacks, they will still come. Okay, we'll skip that and then we'll go to the Dimension Guide again. Control room. This one should be another straightforward stage. It's just, I think, a couple of reinforcement waves to deal with. But, like I said before, we're over-leveled, so should be able to handle them. We also have a full party too. Yeah, this game really wants you to have a full party.
My turn.
It just makes things so much easier. And the thing is, everybody gets the same amount of experience and mana at the end of the battle. So there's really no reason not to have a full party unless you're doing a solo character challenge. Which I don't think I would recommend, but if you want to, you are welcome to do that. I just don't know if I'll be able to help you with a solo character challenge at this point in time. Alright, so we're gonna go to the next stage. I believe this is one that auto battle will have issues with. Yep, this is one of them. Okay, so this stage has islands and we have warp tiles. We're gonna do something similar to what we did on that stage in the last episode with the ally damage effect. We're gonna have our Prinny lift all our characters. And then we'll have the Prinny move to this tile, which is the warp tile. So they can all nicely move to the next area. So we'll just get rid of the enemies here, and then we'll move on. Now we could split up our tower and throw these Prinnies to blow them up, but unfortunately we do have a it would take more time to split up this tower and do it again. I think having the Prinny, our second Prinny be lifted by our first Prinny would have been a little better for this, just because we can toss the Prinny and blow up these Prinnies. That's probably what I should have done, but at this point I've already committed to it. So if you want to actually make this a little quicker, you could just have a second Prinny toss be lifted by the first Prinny. Alright, so now we can move on to our warp panel and move on to the next area. Yeah, at this point we're just having to deal with one character against 3 enemies, so it is going to take a bit of time to kill these enemies. Okay, so we're done. We'll have to end turn and then move on to that final area. Okay, so now we can move here and then we can finally split up our tower and then have all our allies attack next turn. Okay, so that's our 4th stage done here for this episode. Now, since we are coming up to the end boss of the episode, it's time for a little pseudo grind again. I'll bump this up to 9 stars this time because the that previous one was a little too low leveled. See how our allies do.
Looks like it's finally time.
Okay, it looks like they can handle it. Yeah, it's 1 against 10, so despite the level or power disadvantage, we can take him down eventually. Okay, that's 4 episodes done. Now we're gonna go back to mana. Oh, put this, yeah. Put this back to 0.
Come again.
Yeah, I think we have enough mana to get some abilities for our characters, so let's go grab some. Alright, so we want muscle increase for Zed, and then tenacity. Grapplers, okay.
You got stronger.
Poison vaccine, we'll grab that.
Congratulations.
Charm, we'll grab that, and then
You got stronger.
we don't need our warrior, we need our mage, so caster,
You got stronger.
poison vaccine,
Congratulations.
paralysis,
You got
forget,
stronger.
charm,
Congratulations. You got stronger.
then for our brawler it's
Congratulations.
retribution, poison vaccine,
You got stronger.
paralysis, sleep.
You got stronger. You got
Yeah, we do need
stronger.
sleep.
You got stronger.
Forget, charm,
Congratulations.
caster,
Congratulations.
expand, poison. We'll just grab everything except weaken.
You got strong. Congratulations. You got strong. You got stronger. You got strong. Congratulations.
Oh, poison.
Congratulations. You got stronger.
Caster, expand, poison, paralysis, sleep, forget, charm.
You got stronger. You got stronger. You got strong. Congratulations. You got stronger. Congratulations. You got stronger.
Then we don't need any of these for Denise. Just need the status immunity ones.
Congratulations. 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 You got strong. Congratulations. You got strong. You got strong.
Then Melodia finally. Don't need most of these.
You got strong. Congratulations. You got stronger. Congratulations. Congratulations. You got
Yeah, I know, right? Got stronger.
for more.
Well, not yet. We are gonna get stronger now. After we put all these abilities on our characters. Okay, so put all these abilities on our characters now. This is because we will run to some stages where enemies will use status effects, and those may be the main thing that will pose a threat to our allies if we don't have these abilities on. So it's better just have the status immunity rather than not. Okay, so that's that. So now we can proceed with the story. Here's another puzzle map. So we have to throw our allies to these geo symbols over here. There's 5 of them. The objective is to destroy all of these geo symbols. So that we can kill the enemies that are on top of that tower. Oh, speaking of which, there's some status ailments. That's why we wanted these status ailments on our other characters. So we'll just use our skills to destroy the geo symbols, and then we can just auto battle the rest of it. And now you can see why we wanted the status immunity abilities. Zed didn't have them because he had other abilities that were more useful for this. But as long as most of our allies have these status immunity abilities, then should be relatively fine. But yeah, Mothman, Succubus enemies, these enemies that we're fighting now, they like to use status effects, so having the immunity is useful for this part and the rest of the game as a whole. Okay, so auto battle actually did destroy that geo symbol. Most of the time it doesn't. In case if those reinforcements spawn and that geo symbol on that high ground is destroyed, you should destroy it before you proceed.
I must defeat the god of...
But yeah, I didn't really have to touch to get off all the battle that time. It's kind of rare. Alright. More Succubus enemies. They're trying to use status effects on us, but most of our allies have the immunity, so they're not really that big of a concern. They can cast Weaken, which one of our brawlers is inflicted with, and I think that was the one status that I ignored, but it's not really that big of a deal because all it does is lower stats, and our stats are much higher than theirs, so the stat reduction isn't that big of a deal. Okay, we're already at the 4th stage. This is one where we can auto battle most of it, but we'll have to check some tiles once in a while to see where enemies and allies are at. So there's a couple prinnies at the end of the map that are cycling some geo effects. One of them is invincible, so we want to make sure most of the enemies don't end up on invincible when our turn starts. So invincible is on red right now, so that means we want to get any enemy that's on red off red. And once you do that, you can auto battle to kill most of them. Let's see where the invincible is now. It's on blue. Yeah, that Sea Angel over here is on blue, so let's get her off there. And should be it. There we go. We don't need to kill the Prinnies at the end of the map, because they're neutral units. Okay, so We're at the final stage of the episode, so it's boss time. We'll bump this up a little bit. 8 stars seems okay.
See you again.
Oh yeah, this is the one where he's weak to magic, I think. We do have 4 mages, so they can exploit the low resistance. Yep, there we go. Pretty simple. Got a good amount of levels for that too. Now we'll lower the difficulty of the enemies and focus more on mana.
Please come again.
And this stage, I think we might have to have some intervention on our end because of the high terrain. I think I may have to throw a box towards this wall so my other allies can actually climb on top of it. Right now my brawlers have the highest jump, so they're the only ones that can scale fairly high terrain. So once we take out the enemies at the lower ground, we'll have to do some box throwing to get to the higher ground. Or the mages can just kill them. That works too. Okay, so that ninja dropped down from the high ground. Yeah, just get your mages up to the upper area, and then they can take care of the enemies from there. Seems. Alright, next stage. So I don't think there's much else to this stage. You just auto battle through it and they should be able to handle it. There is a chance the Prinnies may die because of the explosives that will get thrown. Yep, they are dead. This is why you don't want to have too many Prinnies in your party. Okay, doesn't matter. Our non-Prinny allies got through the enemies just fine. So it wasn't a big deal that the Prinnies expired for that stage. Another explosive barrel. So one of our Prinnies died. Might be dead next turn. We'll have to see. Oh no, they didn't throw any barrels at us. I think most of the enemies are gonna drop down. And we can take care of most of them. It looks like our brawlers are gonna do most of the heavy lifting for this stage. That's too bad. Well, we got one brawler left. Okay, what stage is this? Number 4. Okay. So we're gonna have to bump up the EXP a little bit for the upcoming fight. No more explosive barrels, at least. Alright, so that's done. Now, I'm just gonna bump up the EXP temporarily. Then I think I will leave the... I won't bump up the enemy strength too much, because I think at this point, this is where the boss stat will take huge leaps if you raise the enemy strength too much. Okay, what level is he now? 1202. If I had raised the enemy strength any further, we would have to deal with so much HP. But 1 star is fine for the time being. Okay, we're done with episode 6, I believe. Now we're gonna bump up mana again. Lower enemy strength. This is the point where we're gonna start to see enemies fairly close to our level, so we're gonna have to do some grinding in a bit. But we're gonna hold off until after we get this episode cleared, because Melodia does learn an ability that's very good for grinding. So we want to get that first before committing to a grind. So we just have to get through 5 stages of this episode, then we'll get back to grinding in a bit. Okay, this is where we have to do some manual intervention. I'm going to throw a couple characters over to where these zombies are so they can clear them out. Because otherwise it's gonna take a while to kill the zombies, because our characters have to walk all the way around this map to get to where they are. I think 2 characters should be okay to handle whatever's on the other end. Ah, yeah, Zed's getting poisoned because we didn't put poison vaccine on him, but our other guy does have poison vaccine, so should be fine. He should be fine to clear the other enemies.
I'll send him flying.
Yep, Zed's poison, so he's gonna die next turn. Probably should have tossed like 2 units that had poison vaccine. And that probably would have performed a little better. Yeah, once your allies get to where the other enemies are, it should be pretty trivial to clear them off. And what is on this stage as far as the geo effects go? EXP plus 50 and attack plus 50%. So this will become a grinding stage later. But as I said before, we've got to wait until we clear the episode to come back here. We can get more EXP once we finally do start the grinding process. Okay, our allies are doing fine against. Just that there's gonna be all these enemies spawning to the enemy base panel. Looks like they ran out of enemies. Oh, there's one more. Hopefully that's the last enemy that spawned. Ah, we got one more. Okay, hopefully no, this is the last guy. Alright, he's boxed in, so even if he survived, they wouldn't have been able to spawn another enemy. So is this the last one? No, there's one more. Okay, here's another one task ally damage 50%. So we're gonna have to do our usual strategy of lifting everybody up. Except the Prinny, and then... Oh, actually I can do this. We don't need to do... We can just throw this geo symbol over here and then toss an ally into the geo symbol. And that'll get rid of it all. Yeah, I forgot what I said, just cancel all this. And now that'll sufficiently weaken the enemies. Well, the ones that aren't reinforcements. So they should be killed in one round. And then we just have to deal with the reinforcements, and should be it for this stage. Yeah, I really hadn't noticed that geo symbol until a moment ago, so that definitely makes this stage a lot easier than throwing all your allies to the other end of the map to take out the ally damage effect.
My turn.
Okay, we're done with that. Now, I'll bump up the enemy strength by 1, then focus on the XP again.
See you again.
Then after this, we'll get to the real power leveling.
Looks like it's finally time. I'll send him flying.
What does... Okay, he's level 1682.
Still too weak.
Alright, I think even if we don't win here, we should be able to get a good amount of EXP. Alright, it wasn't that much, but it's whatever. You can win or lose these God of Destruction fights up to a certain point. Actually, losing might be faster than winning, but you may not be able to get as much EXP. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can bump up EXP. I'll raise this by like 3 for now.
Please come again.
Then we'll focus on claiming demerits. Okay, so we got some EXP demerits here. Yeah, 15%, that's pretty substantial at this point. You do want to claim the demerits before we go do the grind. It's basically free EXP. Alright, so now we have Melodious World is Mine ability, which is, as it says, EXP plus 30%, money plus 30%, and mana plus 30%. So you definitely want to get this onto most of your characters. We're gonna go call assembly. Actually, no, not call assembly. We want to go to the skill shop. Yeah, we want to go to call assembly.
Always welcome.
That's right.
See you again.
Call assembly, then Melodia, and then we will have her hog all the mana. So it should pass. If it doesn't pass, you just keep trying until it passes. It's a fairly decent chance to pass. So now that we've passed this bill, Melodia has all of the character's mana. So we can go to skill shop and then go to create scroll, select Melodia, and then we'll go to world is mine. Then we'll make 9 scrolls. This 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then now we have 9 world is mine scrolls, so we can copy this ability onto our main fighting force. So we'll just give that to everybody. And then of course we want to equip it on the characters. So equip world is mine on everybody. Forget is probably the one I don't really care about. Alright, cool. And then now we're gonna do some grinding. Go to musical world, sing song square. Then let me just check the levels of these guys real quick. So they're 1606. Okay, they're around our level, but not for long. Yeah, as you can see, they get shredded very quickly. So I'm gonna bump up the enemy difficulty a little bit.
Let me know when you're ready.
I think 7 will be okay.
Come again.
Probably just do this a couple times, then bump up the enemy difficulty. The objective is to be able to do the max difficulty version of this stage multiple times. And then we should be good to proceed with the story. I think they're a little too weak still. I'm gonna bump them up a lot more. I like this stage because for grinding, because you have increased offense, and then the enemies are right near the base panel.
See you again.
Not sure if there's a better one, but this seems pretty good to me for grinding. And you also have an EXP effect, so it's basically kind of telling you that the developers intended for this to be used as a grinding spot. How much are these guys at? They're 4,000. Okay, that's a little too much. So we went from 3 to 7, and then we went to, I think, 15. That's a little too much. I'll bump it down to 11. Should be able to handle it from here. So I'll just do it in 4 increments of 4. So 3, 7, 11, then 15, then I guess max. Yeah, what level are they now? They're level 3,000. Yeah, I'll just have this on auto repeat for a few stages. Okay, we're definitely seeing the levels go up. That was, I think, 100. Yep, it's definitely more than 100.
Get in my way and I'll send you
We'll do this a couple more times, then I'll bump up the enemy difficulty.
my turn.
Okay, I'll stop auto repeat.
Looks like it's finally time.
I'm gonna check my demerits again once I'm done with this stage. Maybe my party has unlocked more of the EXP gain demerits. That will make this grind go by much quicker. But yeah, once we get to the point where we're able to kill these enemies at the max difficulty, okay, then we should be mostly set. Alright, so we're not getting any EXP bonuses from the demerits, so we'll leave that alone for now.
See you again.
Bump this to 15, go back in.
I'll blow him to pieces.
This is my Swanza.
That's what, almost, I think that was over 200 levels. Forgot to turn auto repeat back on, so I'll do that right now.
My way and I'll send you
I think I'll do this 3 times and then we'll bump it up to the max difficulty. So yeah, once they get that initial level bump from killing these guys once, they become a lot more trivial, is what I'm noticing. They're certainly not killing as much of our guys this time around.
out of my way.
Okay, one more and then we'll max out the enemy strength. I gotta check again if they've unlocked more demerits. Perhaps it would be a little better if I turned up the class proficiency. because that'll let me get the experience demerits a little quicker.
Forget something.
What are the class mastery at right now? Okay, we're very close actually. Yeah, I'll bump up that class mastery just a little bit, just to make sure we get the.
Please come again.
I'll bump it up by 50. I will make this 125%, and then they should be able to max out their next class proficiency to get the next demerit unlock for experience. So I'll just do the stage once, and then I'll check the class mastery. Hopefully they'll have mastered that 3rd star, then we can get more experience. Then I'll turn down the class proficiency and move it back to EXP. This probably wasn't a good idea. Yeah, probably go back down to. I'm gonna move this back down to maybe 18 stars. That'll work, I guess.
Please come again.
Hey, LB Creed, how's it going, dude? I played this on the Japanese version before, so I know what to expect. I like it so far. It's just a decent casual game. I'll leave it at that. If you're like a casual player who likes big numbers but are kind of overwhelmed by all the different systems, this might be a good starting point.
I'll send him flying.
I think, yeah, 20 stars might be a little too much.
Let me know when you're ready.
So we'll check where they're at now. Mastery. Should probably. You know what? Let's just bump this up most of the way. They should be able
See
to
you again.
get the class mastery 3 stars after this clear. And then we can really start getting experience to go up once we unlock the 3rd class mastery star for everybody. So I think what I'll do is I'll clear the stage twice, and then hopefully after that we'll get our 3rd class mastery star for everybody. So we'll get the experience bonus. Then we'll try the max EXP again. I think I'll be able to level up to 4,000 in relatively short fashion once I've gotten that 3rd demerit experience bonus. So yeah, one more clear, then we'll try adjusting things again at the cheat shop. Okay, well these guys aren't putting up much resistance now. There's that. Alright, so now we can check the demerits. Okay, experience increased by 30%. That's what we want to see. Now we can really get some experience going. Alright, that's what we want to see. Then we don't need class proficiency much anymore. So I'll just... hopefully this will be enough. Hopefully the additional experience I got from clearing the 18-star version allowed me to get strong enough to clear the max difficulty version, but we'll see. I gotta check what their levels are. They're like 5k at this point, I think. Yeah, they're 5k. Okay, 2 were killed. Yeah, we should be able to kill this one remaining. And then we'll see how much experience we get from clearing the stage now. Yep, 200 levels. We're just gonna do the stage a few times until we hit like maybe 4.5k. They should get a lot easier to kill once we level up more, once we get closer to their level. Yeah, 200 levels seems like already gaining a bunch of a substantial amount of power. Another 200 levels or so. Yeah, we're gonna get to our level target pretty quickly. I may go a little further depending on how much levels I get. Okay, the level gains have started to slow down a little bit. So now I'm getting under 200. But that initial level jump was pretty big. I do want to get my party around 6,000 by the time we reach the later parts of the game, because our mages will get a skill that will completely wreck most enemies, although it is a one-time use. Okay, 2 more clears and I should be good to go. At this point, I may be able to go through most of the story stages at a slightly higher difficulty than the base difficulty. Although it will still make enemies take a little longer to kill. But I may just stick with my usual baseline of fighting at the base levels until we get to the boss stage. Then I'll power that up and beat it for an experience boost. Okay, I think I should be good for now, level-wise. We'll tone down the enemies. Then we'll focus more on mana at this point. And then we'll just go through the story. At this point, our levels should be high enough that we can just curb stomp most of the enemies here. Then on this stage, I may need to destroy a box manually with somebody, but that's about it. 1 box or 2. We'll see if they do it themselves. Okay, it looks like they are doing it just fine. So I don't actually need to turn off auto battle.
Shall we commence? Impact critical damage sustained.
I'll suppress you.
Then for this stage, I may need to throw a few boxes, since my allies cannot get up there other than the brawlers. Alright, I'll catch you later, dude. Now, I should probably throw 1 more box near the stack of 3 boxes so my allies can get up there quicker. Okay, there we go. Yeah, box stacking seems to be a thing they encourage in some of these maps, but you don't have to do it too much. And this one's a relatively short stage too. It'll be done in like 10 seconds because there are no reinforcements. Alright, I'll bump up the difficulty by a couple notches. See how they do.
Looks like it's
We're gonna get most of our EXP from this guy from this point onwards. What level is he? He is 25, 24. Should probably bump him up a lot more next time. Maybe I'll go for 5 stars next time. I forgot to lower my
getting my way.
cheat shop settings, but it probably shouldn't matter. We'll see how long these enemies take to kill. Okay, I think I'll leave it on for this episode. The cheat shop setting. Okay, done. Still get a good amount of experience though for clearing this stage. I'll definitely have to bump it up when we reach the boss stage.
Looks like it's
So let me answer that question perhaps when I'm done here.
I'll send him flying.
There should be some reinforcements on the page. Then I think that should be it. Just that one wave of reinforcements. Okay, good. Counterattacks, yeah, they're definitely very powerful. A lot stronger than heals most of the time, seems. Okay, there should be just one enemy for the next 3 fights, so it should be pretty easy. Yeah, look at that. Counterattacks did like 3 million. Okay, do get a good amount from beating that boss though. And then after that we gotta fight it again. I don't actually know what the difference is from the previous map. But yeah, it's 2 separate stages. Same enemy. Oh, this one doesn't give experience, it seems. Or maybe somebody just got inflicted weak and then didn't get experience with the kill. Probably what happened there. Oh well.
See you again.
And what level is this guy now? Okay, 4, 4, 10. I'll probably just keep it like that. So he's relatively close to our level. Nice. Okay, got good amount of levels from that one. Now I'll tone down the difficulty a little bit. I think I'll just I'll just disable some of the skills because I feel like they're getting in the way. Okay, let's move on. Then this one's just Z against the world. I guess I could give him a range weapon for this. Yeah, let's do that. Although his forte is a fist, and a bunch of his abilities work with a fist, so I'll have to put a fist back on him after this. Okay, over pretty quickly. Then I'll have to put a fist back on Zed when he comes out. Alright, let's give him a fist again. Oh, why can I not equip this on him? Okay, I was getting some lag there. Okay, I think I'll have to bump up the enemy difficulty again. Let's do 5 stars again to see how that works. Ah, yeah, it's not the stage I was thinking of. I'll have to... I mean, we can still beat it, I just think it'll take a while. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of the wrong stage, so I'll tone down the enemy difficulty again after this stage. We can certainly beat them, you can see, but it's just taking a while because, you know, higher HP pool and all that. We probably wouldn't be getting a lot of levels anyways. I guess we can just use this stage as a demonstration of that. Ah, the heal. Yep. Oh, come on. I gotta disable these skills because they're just not helping at all. Regular attacks just do so much more damage. Okay, we'll just take most of these out. Okay, let's see how if that works a lot better. Yeah, the damage output is considerably higher. It's crazy. And a bit ridiculous. Okay, we'll tone down this. It's just taking too long with enemies at the higher difficulty. Now that's a huge difference. One hit kill. We got another that doesn't have that skill disabled. I'll disable that immediately. Okay, here we go. Now I can bump up the enemy difficulty. Okay, we'll do 5 stars again. I'd like to be able to get my characters to 6k within the next 2 episodes. Okay, got him. And we got 200 more levels. It's like.
Please come again.
I'm gonna focus a little more on mana because it'll become relevant
See you again.
once we get our characters to 6k. Oh, the Prinnies now have Pringer Beam. Okay. I'll probably keep Pringer Beam on them. Might be good for baiting multiple counterattacks like that. Okay, done. And most of these stages from here on out are going to be auto battle, except for one in the next episode. Other than that one stage, most of the other stages can be done with auto battle. Oh, and the final boss as well. Although he could.
Get in my way and I'll send you back! Hurry up! My turn!
Alright, here's another auto battle stage done. Let's see here. Overlord's Guard has been unlocked. I'm not gonna bother with it. Oh yeah, we got that fusion effect going on at this stage. Not that it really matters that much. Because at the base level enemy should be pretty easy to kill. Oh, the Prinny killed the Geo symbol. Okay, stage cleared. Good thing we have a bow user so we can get rid of the enemies that were high up. Now we have another one of those end boss fights, so we'll bump up the XP. This time I'll go 3 stars. Probably have too much HP to deal with otherwise. Oh, and he's got the effect of healing as well. Okay, 6k for Zed, but the others are still not there yet. We will probably hit 6k after this episode, so we're on track so far. So we'll lower everything else, but I'll increase mana this time. Put this to 0.
Please come again.
And then move on.
Looks like it's
And then pretty soon we'll reach the last major stage that we'll need to not auto battle to get by. Alright, so could be either this stage or the next one. Alright, it is this stage that we have to not auto battle. So thing with this stage is there's this effect of the ally damage 100%. So we have to. It'll grow larger and larger and larger as more turns pass. So we're gonna have to get to the end and beat the Geo symbols as soon as possible. Okay, first I'm gonna get rid of these enemies. Alright. That works for getting one of them. Getting rid of one of them. Then we'll just take out the other enemy, and then we'll just move all of our guys towards the end. Okay, so now we'll just move this entire stack towards the end. And then well, not towards the end, towards the center. Then we'll just throw everybody so that they'll destroy the geo symbol. Oh, that evil eye's blocking the way, so we'll have to do this now. So just destroy this geo symbol. Oh yeah, we can't throw them on top of the geo symbol this time because of the no entry effect. So now we destroy the geo symbol. That's no entry, and then we can just auto battle the rest of the stage. Stage becomes so much easier without the no entry. You can actually have your allies surround enemies. Don't really have to worry about the encroaching ally damage effect, non-issue at this point. Okay, I believe this stage has reinforcements. But they're nothing compared to the previous stage, so since we do have a fairly over-leveled party compared to the enemies. And then once I beat the boss stage, I should have everybody over level 6,000. And then we can start powering up our characters so they can start smashing through the enemies coming up ahead. Yeah, looks like our party actually is 6,000 plus now. So let's go to the skill shop. Then we're gonna power up Elemental Burst. That's what we're waiting for. So at this point, our mages should have Elemental Burst learned. This is the only skill we want them to be using, so we're just gonna power this up to the max, and then disable everything else if it isn't already disabled. Okay, so now we can go move on to our boss fight.
Please come again.
Oh wait, this is yeah, this is a stage that's not the actual boss fight. Well, it is a boss fight, but it's not the end boss. But yeah, we should still be able to beat these enemies, although it might take a little longer. Yeah, they're level 7,000 at this point. Let's actually see if we can beat the level 7,000 enemies with the level 6,000 party. Should be able to if we outnumber them, but not if they keep spawning enemies every turn. Okay, yeah, I made a mistake by doing this. Should have been the next stage. I should have bumped up the enemy levels. All right.
See you again.
It's only the last stage for most of the time that you want to bump up the enemy levels. Especially with the enemy base panel. It's just not worth it to fight enemies at a higher level. Okay, that was over so much faster. We'll do 8.
Please come again.
It's at level 8,000. Okay, just like that, he's gone.
Previously on
Then we'll bump everything down,
See you again.
increase EXP, and then we'll go to the next stage. Okay, I hope they clear the stage this turn. Okay, we're gonna see some major EXP gains in this episode.
Please come again. Did you forget something? See you again.
Yep, we're gonna be fighting this God of Destruction multiple times in this episode, so probably the best time to turn that EXP slider to the max. And then this one should revive multiple times. The only instance of this fight where it's slightly different than all the other times you fight this thing. Do I actually want to be fighting this at 5 stars though? The question. Oh, I don't want them spamming elemental first at this point. Are they spamming elemental first still? That might be a problem if they are. Yeah, they are. That's a problem. Okay. I think I have to turn off Springer Beam for this. It's just not helping at all. Big Bang too. All these skills need to go off. Alright, there we go. And then I'll bump the enemy strength up.
Please come again.
Since this next instance of the God of Destruction won't revive.
Get in my way and I'll send your ass quick.
He just needs to not kill my mages before they elemental burst him. Oh, they learn Omega Ice. That needs to go too. Omega Fire and Omega Ice need to go. Okay, we're almost max level. One of the other objectives for this is to have your characters be at 9999 by the time you beat the story. This is a means of doing that. So we'll reduce everything except EXP and mana.
See you again.
Yeah, we have a huge level boost from that last episode. Now we're mostly going to be in cruise control, I guess. Yeah, as much as I would like to get rid of Elemental Burst, unfortunately it is the main skill that causes a lot of damage, but I wish the mages would stop using Elemental Burst after they have used it once. They technically... Because they won't be doing very much damage with it. I think I can just leave the enemy strength at the lowest difficulty, and I should still be able to get to max level with everybody at the end of the final boss. Just because we already have 500 EXP, 500% EXP multiplier active. So we fought 3 Gods of Destruction on the previous map. This time we fight 5 of them. But nothing's really changed. We still die just as easily as the last stage.
I'll send him flying.
Yeah, they're very, very close to max level. We'll be max level by the time we hit the final boss, which is coming up pretty soon. So most of the stages, well, all the stages are going to be auto battle except for the final boss. Not really much else to say at this point, since I think at the lowest difficulty the enemies should be around level 5,000, 4,000, and we're already at or near the level cap for the story mode. Now, if only the mages would stop using elemental burst after they've used it once, we'd get through this a lot quicker. Yeah, there's already a couple that have reached 9999. Then we have phase 2 of these bozos. Not much different from the time where we faced 5 of them. It's stage cleared. Now we have everybody at max level. Yeah, in 2.5 hours we can get through the final. We can get to the final episode and have our party also at the level cap for the story mode. Pretty silly when you think about it. And it's just 3 Gods of Destruction, nothing new here. Actually, we should be able to auto battle the final boss too. Let's just try it. At this point, since our party is just so overpowered. Assuming the mages use elemental burst properly, should be able to auto battle even the final boss. Hey, final boss coming up. There's 2 gods of destruction and then the big guy. Yep, just like that, final boss is no more. Oh boy.
Splendid.
And that's Disgaea 6 main story. Hopefully, if you followed all of this, you too could be able to complete the main story in a relatively short period of time and have your party at a max level. Yeah, 2 hours and 23 minutes of in-game time. So yeah, I was wrong about needing the auto battle for the final boss, because looks like he went down pretty quickly. Alright, well, this will be a reference for anybody looking to get through the post-game, to get to the post-game content pretty quickly. So if you just follow what I do, and there were a few minor errors here and there, but for the most part, you should be able to follow this and beat the game just as fast as I did, if not faster. Well, if you're using this as a guide, you may not be able to beat this just as fast as I did, but maybe in a second or third attempt, you'll probably be able to do it quicker than this video. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the post game, and hope to see you all again soon.